good morning from beautiful Brisbane, Australia. How are you this morning? It's Monday already here. I can't believe our last week just flew by. How did you go? Were you able to change just one thing in your life, in your daily life, and able to move one step forward? My apologies for not being able to turn up Friday. The week just got so busy, and with appointments, it was just crazy. So I appreciate your generosity in me not turning up on time. Well, we're here today to discuss the simple and effective ways to quiet anxiety. And this is super important. Now, some of these things I've been able to research. Some of them are actually things that I've done myself as well. And each stage of going from recovery to remission, we will find that different things work at different times and different people have different needs depending on their situation and a number of other factors as well. So the first thing that I actually found when I was researching for different ways was blowing bubbles. And I went, I need to think about this. Anyhow, the person carries a little... Do you know when you go to weddings and you get that one of those little bottles of bubbles to blow around? Carries one of them with them, and if they're out and they get anxiety, they take the little bottle of bubbles and go to the toilet. Sorry, I don't know if you all call it the loo or not, but go to the toilet and blow bubbles. Now, what it does is actually help regulate their breathing. So I thought that was something unique and fun that could also be a distraction and help people get their breathing back. So it's something to think about, and if you have young kids, it would be something that you could do with them, and whilst you're doing it, they're having fun, but you're actually regulating your breathing. So it's good to be creative and to get curious about how we can use the different things that we come up with on the list. And if you're keeping kids entertained while you're having an anxiety attack or a panic attack when you're out, then it's a good thing. Trust me, it's a good thing because it's less stress for you. They can stand there with you, blow bubbles, and you're not going to worry about, them calling you and mom, 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 like this, because they do, if they're not distracted. Okay, the next one is to remind yourself that you've been here before. Oh, and I've done this. It was one of my early strategies, is to remind myself that in the middle of the anxiety attack that I've been here before and I have managed the anxiety attack. I have managed the circumstances around me that I needed to. I have learned to adapt to what I need in each situation. And one of the good things to do with that is also pre-prepare that you may be triggered, and when you're going out, have things ready, an order in place of what you're going to do if you get triggered, okay? Have an online chat line already on your phone. In different countries, there are different ways of going about this, but as mental health becomes a more predominant need in the community, chat lines are becoming easier to access. So you might not have an app, but if you research before you go anywhere and you say, whatever country you're in and put in online chat line for mental health or for anxiety, depression, you'll find that different companies or different providers in your country have online chat lines. And if that happens when you're out, now use this with your family as well. If you're going to a family event and you know that there's a possibility of you being triggered, have your online chat line address ready. So have it saved in the browser on your phone, so that just go to the toilet, great place, get away from all the rallies, and sit and have an online chat with a professional to help you through this time. And in the past I've used them and they have been brilliant, and I've just said, look, This is what's happening for me at the moment. I just need to talk to someone. And it has been great. At first I felt like, I should be able to cope with this. I should know how to go around this situation, etc., etc. But we don't. We don't have all the answers at any given point in time. And complex PTSD recovery is done in relationship with other people. So reaching out is one of the healthiest things we can do. Download a breathing app. Oh my goodness, there is heaps. Even if you Google breathing app, you will find that there are comparisons among breathing apps, and they go from the very simple to the more involved. The more involved usually contain lots of information with them, so go for something that's simple and free, and there's a number of them, and just have it ready for when it does happen so that you can go back to regulating your breathing, which helps get the body and brain back on track. Okay, gets the limbic system back into place. One of the things that I managed to do along the way is when I was triggered, was to repeat, I am safe. This happened for me when I was out at the gym, and I began to understand how my brain would be triggered just from something in my view, and I wouldn't know what it was. So I began to slow my breathing down and repeat, I am safe. But we've got to feel it. It's not about just the mind-verbal connection. We've got to feel it, all right? And when we can generate that feeling inside of us, not only does our breathing regulate, but we also are affirming that we're the adult, I am safe, and I'm going to be able to manage this situation, okay? This was an interesting one I found, was solve a puzzle or play a game. So even if you, one of the games, well, I'm terrible at this, on your phone, just get a game, and you can get puzzle games, things like Scrabble, and it's called Word something. And when you're focusing on solving the puzzle or playing the game, lining things up, because Candy Crush is really simple and it's just lining things up, seeing the patterns, then it helps our limbic system get back on track. It helps our mind, so the prefrontal cortex and the order, begin to be able to regulate our emotions. So it's a pretty good one to do, and it's something you can be doing without it being obvious that you're trying to get your breathing and emotions regulated again, okay? So use it. Oh, brilliant. One of the apps that I found, and it's a newish one, is called Youper. That's Youper. And on Youper, it actually tracks your health. So not just anxiety, but depression, emotional regulation, and a number of other things. And it's artificial intelligence, and it's brilliant. It's something that you can have an immediate conversation with and have good outcomes with it. I've used it and I love it. And if I need to sit down because I'm overwhelmed and have a conversation to work through how to manage what's happening around me, I absolutely use Youper. I can't say enough good things about it. There's been apps before it that have tried, but Youper has nailed it. So Youper, download the app. It's free. Have a go. And it's just amazing. It really is like having a conversation with another person. Another idea is distance your anxiety from you. So put your anxiety over to one side and focus on the one next step that you need to do. I like the idea and I understand the idea, but just be aware that you don't want to move it right over here so that you're dissociating. You still want it to be manageable, but if you just move it to the side a bit, then you're going to give yourself room to breathe. Okay, just keep it at the simple level and it will be very calming for you to do that. Just go, right, it's not who I am. This is my chemical neurobiological reaction or response to being triggered. Okay, I'm going to sit here, let my whole system process it. I'm going to slow down. Okay, words for this week, slow down, from somebody who's trying to learn how to slow down. And see if that works for you. It may not work for everybody. Remember to address your physical needs. So remember the HALT acronym, HALT. Am I hungry? Am I angry? Am I lonely? Am I tired? Address those needs. For me, the biggest one is tired. If I'm tired, forget it. I know that my brain's offline and it really is. Just think about your perception. It's really hard. If you're sitting with someone and you've been triggered, it is really hard to understand them. What are they saying? Especially if they're saying something different or want you to understand part of them and our brain's triggered and offline. It's very hard to do that. Okay? So give yourself a chance to just wind down, address those physical needs. And I even say to my kids, look, I'm sorry, I can't understand what you're saying at the moment. I need to go and either eat or I'm tired, I need to have a rest, and then we'll move on from there. And they go, great, not a problem, because they understand that I have to address it in order that I can be fully present for them as well. Okay? So think about becoming more conscious of your physical needs in order that you can reduce when the triggers happen. I like this one. I've never done it, but I think it's a brilliant idea. Schedule your worry. Have you ever thought about scheduling your worry? So you go, and this will be good in that you're training yourself, right, and retraining the brain, retraining the mind, that if I'm going to worry about something, it's going to happen at 5 p.m. today instead of my entire day. I think it's brilliant. Try it for one day and see what happens. Get back to me. Let me know if you try it and what happened. So make sure you schedule it though. Don't just say, oh yeah, that'll happen, because life gets in the road. Just say at 5 p.m. today I'm going to pick up all the worries and I'm going to sort through them. But for the rest of the day I'm going to focus on what I need to do right here, right now. Music and books are always a great way. I've found over the years that books are something that help calm me down because they take me out of the immediate triggers. Okay? So it didn't matter what type of book it was. It could be anything from development, self-development, understanding, to trauma information. And actually, when I read about trauma information, it helps me process and get the prefrontal cortex back online. It could be fiction. Sometimes fiction's really good just to help the body unwind, and that's a good thing, because the more our body unwinds and isn't held tightly, the less triggering happens. Okay? Now, I love this idea. I've never tried it because we didn't have it when I was younger. But silly putty and Play-Doh. Grab, I don't know, about this much and get a little container and put it in. You'll have to make sure that it stays moist. Well, I know Play-Doh, you have to make sure that it stays a little bit moist. But when you're out, you can just mould it and play with it in your hand. No one need ever see it. Too easy. So pick one, just one from the list today. One that you went, oh yeah, I could do that. And do it for this week. So practice slowing down and going, right, I'm going to do this week. Integrate it into your day-to-day life, and it will definitely help shift your recovery into remission. One step, once a day, and we've got this. Thanks for joining in today. I really appreciate you, and I will see you again tomorrow morning. Bye for now.